today. She names her villains fast, picks a side real clean, then watches as her comment section turns into a guillotine. Oh, she's the queen of the divide, spinning lines of venom into one slick cry. She's got outrage on tap and her fans in a trance, so in war with a wink and a sideways glance. Let's talk about justice, she says with a grin, as she stokes another flame just to rake it all in. With every feud she fuels her traffic climbs. She's weaponized opinions into dollar signs. She don't need facts, she just needs a name to drag through mud for the algorithm game. And when her mob runs wild, she's nowhere in sight, just counting views under her garage light. She'll cry they're out to get me when called to explain, then gaslight her critics like it's all just a game. She's built a brand on noise, not truth or care, but in this digital circus, that crown's hers to wear. Yeah, she's the queen of the divide, finding way to age with her subscribers at her side. She's there just to fan the flame. They say sells better when you scream a name.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. We're good? So I'm doing this live because I think that a lot of people were took. I really do. I really do. And I know a lot of people were taken too. I've had several people reach out to me personally who knows me that they weren't happy. They weren't happy at all with the way things fell into place or not into place. There's just so much that started well over a year ago. This started, I want to say March or April. I do believe there's a lot of hate coming from that chat, and the chat is what fuels the fire in there. And when the chat fuels the fire, exactly, Miyagi, they are scared. I don't know what people are scared about. I just want to know if the money for the banners, the money for the memorial, if it isn't going to happen, then she needs to step up and she needs to reimburse every single person who donated, and I mean donated, the money for the banners and for the memorial. Plain and simple. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. And this rant, this rage that she has is just, I don't understand. I don't understand the rant. I don't understand the rage. Now, I've sat in on her live streams where she sells her little trinkets, her little crystals. And it started in there. And It hasn't stopped. It's just evolved. It's more or less evolved. Well, I know, Buddhasia, I know she can't afford to mail them out, but what's stopping her now? She's sitting on some money. There was money that was sent for specific items, specific things. Those items and those things have not been taken care of, period. And I don't understand what the big deal is. I don't understand. If you're not going to do it, give the money back. Well, that's probably going to be a problem for her, because in order to have a trust, there has to be somebody who's going to sign off on the trust, which is a guardian. Okay. There's going to have to be somebody in place that will be the guardian to disperse the funds. And yes, peculiar. Yes, 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 yes. It is. It is. A lot of people, I sat in her chat for well over a year, not saying a word, not a word. Zero from me. I watched how everything unfolded. I watched how the chat transformed. The chat transformed from the narrative that was being presented. Okay. I know, Buddhasia, because I was in the chat when you questioned that. And it seems like there's a lot of sidestepping, a lot of skirting the issue, a lot of, I hate to say this, but blowing smoke up people's asses. And that's what it seems that it has been. Oh no, there's others that are critical. However, they will not say anything in fear of retribution. Now, a lot of people that go in her chat do not have active channels for streaming anything, gaming, crafts, arts, things to that nature. A lot of them are just watchers. And believe it or not, YouTube provides a service, and the people who watch are the consumers. And by not providing goods or services for what you have purchased, that puts them in a bad light. Well, hey there, Ghost of Godly Inspiration. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. There's too much strife, hate. There's just too much going on in that chat. She cannot stay on topic. She's wishy-washy. She goes from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other. And it is highly unethical for somebody who proclaims to have had a professional background to come in and act this way. When you are in the public eye, it's best to maintain an air about you, and it should be professional. You should not come across as a screaming, raging, ranting banshee. And that's how she comes across. And a lot of people that I have seen fall off of her channel, every single one of those people have disappeared, and they are appearing in other chats. And they email me and they send me things. Deflection, let's see, deflection, a lot of deflection. Yes. And she cannot control herself when she gets going. And a lot of it is the chat that is fueling that rant, that raging inferno she has deep down inside of her. She can't stop. She can't stop. And it's sad. It really is. And I find it highly, highly, highly unethical that she did this. And it's funny when people get a taste of fame, they get a taste of what it's like to make extra money, and they get a taste of how much more powerful they feel with that extra money. And when they get that and they wrap their hands around it, they don't want to let it go. There are many YouTubers that have fallen off into the algorithm abyss because of the way they conducted themselves online and with their viewers, subscribers, uh, any of their people who purchase goods from them. They just fall off. They burn themselves out because people get tired of listening to the same shit different day. It's wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. It is Buddha. She does not care when people leave. She cops a really big attitude. Her attitude is, well, I didn't need you anyway. Well, yeah, you did. You do kind of need those subscribers to keep you going, to keep it rolling. And if you don't have those, I know I've seen those, Miyagi. It is boring repetition, but you know what? Her true die-hard band of misfits, they will hang on every single syllable out of her mouth, out of that mouth. And they feed off of it. And the more they feed off of it, the more power they're giving her because she knows she's going to get away with it in her chat. And I don't believe in timing out. I do not believe in removing comments. If you come in and you show your ass, I'm showing you the door. Okay. I'm not a daycare. I'm not babysitting any damn body. You come in here, you act like an adult, you get treated like an adult. You come in here and you spew bullshit in my chat, you're gone. You're history. This is not a daycare. It's not anything like that. Well, that's okay, Miyagi, because you really don't need them. And I, for one, would say good riddance to that kind of trash because there's one in particular. Oh, wow. I did not know that. And yes, peculiar, Stacy is. I actually sat in on one of her lives. I didn't do the 8 hour, it was an 8.5 hour marathon she did last week. I did sit in on that. And it was kind of interesting to say the least. She's pulling anybody that who wants to come up on her panel up there, and half of them just sit there and I guess you could say sit there with a thumb up their ass. I'm not sure. I really don't care. But if you're not providing anything useful, anything informative, get the hell off. Get the hell off the panel. Just stop. Just stop. Okay. Um, yeah, it is weird. I know you guys know this one person. And this one person drives me absolutely nuts because I cannot stand him. Does anybody know Ed? Anybody? Ed? Edwina? Prince Ed? Come on. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Buddha, there's a lot of stuff that was misconstrued. A lot of people take it as truth. You have to use more than Google. Everybody knows Ed. You ever just want to take your fingers and pinch somebody's head until it pops like a grape? Yeah. That POS is annoying. Annoying. Doesn't know peanut gallery. I just want to pinch his little head. Just pinch it till it pops. He's annoying. And it's hilarious. It is hilarious to watch her chat. Her chat blows up and she feeds off of it. But she took a lot of people for a lot of money. A lot of people for a lot of money. There was never a personal email to anybody thanking them for their generosity. There was never a public thank you for anything. Yeah, he is. He is. But it's funny to watch him. It really is. I have to laugh. The hand raising. Oh, don't get me going. The pinky out. The whole, yeah, okay, we're just going to let that go. Fingernails. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Nope. Not doing it. And there are a few others that just, they run their mouths in there, and she takes what they're telling her and she runs with it. She takes it as truth. She takes it as truth. What happened to her vetting her shit? What happened to that? Did she just up and stop vetting information? Or is she taking now, okay, guys, my mod right here, Goes to Godly Inspiration, actually had a run-in with Felisa. She actually met Felisa in the flesh. Oh, that didn't sound right. And it wasn't pretty. Okay. So that mod right there knows Felisa. Absolutely met her in the flesh at a supermarket in the Florida. Peculiar. I wouldn't put it past anybody. I really wouldn't put it past. No, Boudicca, she came back on one time, and that to tell JH to keep her name out of his effing mouth. And that was pretty much the extent of it. And then after that, she disappeared again. So she's still doing her own thing on her own channel. And yeah. So she was buying the alcohol, huh? Nice for someone who doesn't drink. So she says, we don't know where that alcohol went when it got in her vehicle and in her house. So we're just going to let that go. And it's interesting how people portray themselves one way online, and then in their private life they portray a totally different persona. They have a totally different persona. Goes to Godly knows me personally. Slurring her words. Nice. Oh, she doesn't smoke either. I beg to differ. The lighter thing, the coughing, the hacking. Yeah. I think Boudicca, it was her way to separate, to put some distance, because if the chat saw how things were going, the people around her saw it as well. So I think the knee surgery came at a time where that was their out. Okay. You're trying to maintain your own channel. You're trying to do your own thing. You're staying in your lane, and you get pulled into something. something you really don't want to really be involved in, and then you see how it's going, and you're going to want to make an exit really quick. You're going to want to exit. You don't want to be wrapped up in that. And by allowing all of these different people, let's see, they started off with one attorney, then came an attorney, a columnist or a reporter, and then a convicted felon. And then came a permanently retired attorney came into the mix. So there was four extra mouths running in that channel. And it totally created a cluster, a very big cluster. And that cluster just kept evolving until it snowballed. And now a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened. And it wasn't good. I think everybody who's been in that chat and has left, I think they know what's up. I think they saw it. Oh, please, Miyagi. She doesn't even know what the legal use of ADA protected means. She has no clue. She's clueless. It's like there's air between her ears. There isn't any gray matter. It's air. And you know what? I really wouldn't put it past her that she didn't get anything, because it seemed like one question, has anyone ever seen Felisa Robbie? You mean that, and as in them being together, like hanging out together? Or oh, I didn't even know you left. Ha ha, my bad. Well, I know my mod has met her face to face at a supermarket. She actually gave Ghost to Godly Inspiration a business card for crystals. So, yeah, she knows what she looks like. Actually, I was on the phone with her and we were discussing it. Oh, no worries. Oh, so your dog had to have a bio break. Doggies have to go too. To my knowledge, no. That has never come up in her chat. Of course, nobody has ever questioned it either. Nobody ever questioned if anybody else on the outside of the inner circle was giving money. I do know that at one time when Miyagi made a rather generous, large donation, that Lisa made the comment that, so what? Tori donated. So what? I donated. You never made it public that you donated. You never said, hey guys, I went ahead and I donated to this cause, or I donated this, or I donated that. So it pretty much pisses everybody off, but everybody in that chat doesn't seem to give two shits. They don't care. They do not care. Everybody is so far up that woman's ass that they know what brand of Marlboro cigarettes she smokes, okay? They don't give a rip about that child. And I have to say one thing. That family, yes, they do have a history. And if anybody would have checked into that family's history before all of this went down, I can guarantee none of this would have came to fruition. None of it would have happened, because that family has a past, they have a background, and that is sad. But what I find extremely funny and ironic is that MP knows that money is her. And you know, and what happened to all of that stuff? There's a lot of speculation that it was sold at the flea market. Well, you know, Peculiar, he was topic of conversation before she went on her kick with the whole storage legends and what the Hales chest bump. He was being spoken about in her chat while she was selling crystals before she transitioned. Oh, yes. She just never tagged him in her description. Never did. So it was in the planning, it was in the making. I sat in on those. Yes. So, and for her to say, I was his mod, she was his mod. Okay. All I did was drop links. I call bullshit. If that's all you're doing, so you're not actually paying attention to the chat, you're not listening to the stream, you're just dropping links, I call bullshit. She knew what was going on. How can you not be a mod in a channel and not know the topic of discussion? Let's get real. Okay? I have to call bullshit on that. I really do. So it was in the making. Well, that's funny you say that, Peculiar. She's hated him since the hoarder house, but when all of this came out, well, not only that, she sat in Storage Legends chat, and I think she bought over $2,000 worth of Funko Pops. So now she has all those Funko Pops at her house now. Lisa does. Yes. So I sat in on that too, and I watched that. And I couldn't believe that she spent $2,000 on Funko Pops. I'm totally amazed. So that's $2,000. Who'd that come from? See, there was no record keeping. There was no nothing. There was nothing to say, person A gave this and it's for that. Person B gave this and it's for this. It was a waste. Well, all I have to say is she didn't make her goal the other night. So I think people might be wising up and they're just there for the show. What does she work at doing? I don't know. I don't know what she does for a living. I don't know. There's a big gap in her employment history, a large gap in her employment history. So nobody knows. Only she knows. And of course, she's not talking. She's not going to. Scamming. True. True. Oh, yes. But that will only get you so far before you run out. Okay. She's going to run out of people to give her a buck. Oh, yeah. Kyle needs to get a grip. Playing dumb. She does slip up, Peculiar, at times. She actually has slipped up a couple of times within the past 2 weeks in what she says. She has to go back and it's like she's covering her ass. And dang. She's not very nice. She's very hateful. She's very, her ego is bigger than what. Yeah, and I thought King Paco bought her the what is that? The soundboard? Was it King Paco that bought her the soundboard and he was trying to get her to learn how to use it and that was a waste? It's just sitting there. She's never used it. Yeah. Well, Kyle's crazy. She does what we like to call, she does a lot of hem-hawing. She hem-haws around it all. But to see, they're blind, okay? They're blind. They have blinders on. All they are doing is just feeding her the hate. And she's picking it up and she's running with it. Oh, you're out there by your house? Oh, don't go over there, please. No, please don't. Please don't. Don't go there. There's a lot of anonymous donor. King Paco made it a point to say that he gave her the soundboard during one of the live streams. Kyle, I think Kyle sent a lot of candy, things to that nature. She doesn't, she's not generous with giving herself. Okay. Yeah. Things are starting to slip. Things are starting to slip with her. She doesn't speak the truth anymore. She used to speak what she thought was the truth because she thought she had the receipts. Now she's going off of just garbage. In more ways than one. And also, Budicia, she's claiming that the PayPal to cash out the money, she was saying that it was 50%. It took 50% of the money sent. He did not send it all in one lump sum. It was sent over a period of time, a period of days, period of weeks. And if I am not mistaken, according to PayPal, according to PayPal, they only take, like, I think it's 4.1 or 4.4% of the total when you withdraw it. It's not 50%. As far as the $20,000 fence, the $20,000 privacy fence, I do believe that was maybe with hardware, cement, the gate, all of the extras, not, everything separate from the fence. I think it maybe tops is close to $2,800, and that's not including, because at the time those panels were bought prior to the hurricanes, so they were pretty cheap prior to the hurricanes. Everything, Budicia, the cement. So where'd the additional 12 grand go? Who got that? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that went in her pocket. Let's see, it went to, and if you're volunteering time, because she did stipulate that they had volunteers, so they volunteered their time. So if you're volunteering time, you don't expect to get paid if you're a volunteer. Okay. All right. So when you look at everything as a whole, there's no accountability, there's no transparency. Somebody did email her and asked for a receipt of what they purchased, and guess what they got? They got crickets. That's it. They emailed her several times. Oh yeah, the memorial, that's not happening either. Somebody gave $100 for that. They want their $100 back. They email her, and I asked them, the stain that wasn't bought. Yeah, where'd that money go? So you're looking at a lot of mismanaged funds, and there's no accountability. She's not going to account for them, but she did say on one of her streams, if anybody wants to know where the money went, email me and I will show you. Several people emailed her and all they got were crickets. They got zero response from her for that. Zero. Yeah, I know two people who bought a banner apiece, $100 for the memorial that never happened. Let's see. Don't get me started on the attorney, because that really just blows my mind and pisses me off that there was no transparency on what type of an attorney was going to be retained. Let's see. And little do these nitwits think they thought that they would be safe from the bankruptcy. No, they're not included on MP's bankruptcy. So there was, the bankrupt. Oh, please. A good bankruptcy attorney in the state of Florida, because I reached out and I called several. I called one in West Palm Beach. I called one in Fort Lauderdale. I called one in Miami. I called one in Jacksonville. I called one in Pensacola. $3,000 tops, depending on location, not $6,000. Also, Chapter 7, they do a payment plan. Chapter 13, they do a payment plan. So for them, they should have been upfront. They should have said what it was for. But if they would have said it's for a bankruptcy attorney, nobody would have given a dime. No, there's one person who has a banner, Peculiar. One person who has a banner, and it's hanging. That's Robbie. He has Shadowrunner's banner in his background. She's not going to, she had zero intention on putting them up. Well, good evening, Sharon Freeman Pace. How are you? All of you are familiar. I know all of you from all the chats. Yes, Robbie is the only one that has Shadowrunner's banner hanging in the back. If you go and watch his live streams, it's hanging in the back. Oh, I'm quite sure everybody has closed up shop on the doling out the money. I do believe a lot of people have closed their wallets, and they're have put their bank cards away, and it's crazy. And if she had a sense of decency, if she had any decency at all, she would send out an email to everybody and she would say, I am sending you your money back how you sent it to me. Because she can also, well, okay, one person gave $3K for that bankruptcy, guys. One person gave $3K. 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 One person, that bankruptcy attorney. How do you think they feel? They thought that they were given for an attorney to represent her in federal court on a civil case. $3K bankruptcy. They covered half of that bankruptcy attorney. And they were anonymous. And when I went back into that, you could not see the person's name. You couldn't see their name at all because it had already went through. He had already withdrawn the funds. So I couldn't go back and see who the $3K came from. So it's just weird, and I feel that people need to start bombarding her with emails. I don't care if you have to blow up her inbox. Start bombarding her with emails. Everybody needs to get on the bandwagon and start calling her out. Call her out. Keep calling her out. Keep calling her out. And exactly, Izzy, she is a master manipulator. And where have you been hiding? That's okay. I'll cut you some slack. But it is a lot of money. Yeah, Budusia, there was somebody who, did you hear anything back, Sharon, or did you hear crickets? She's known how to block email addresses. She's not, come on, guys. She's playing everybody. She's playing every damn body. It's ridiculous. And was that a $5,000 rock? Yeah, and those giveaways, come on. I think they're all just, I think they're planned. Just my opinion. 40% PayPal? I call, that's BS. BS, BS, BS. Look into it. PayPal does not charge 40%. The 56K did not come all at one time. It came in increments. That's not counting the super chats. That's not counting the extra, I think it was $600 or $6,000 or something he sent via PayPal. So that's exactly, they're overpriced rocks. Okay. Come on. You can go out in your driveway. You can go to a local park. You could probably even find a rock along the side of the road. Come on. If you're going to get rocks, buy them from somebody reputable who does geodes. You get a real rock. Okay. Fake diamonds. No, PayPal is not 40%. But peculiar, that is what she's telling everybody, that PayPal took 40% of each of those donations from OM. 56K people. Could you imagine how that barndominium could have been staged to start the process of getting it to where it's more livable? So yeah, it wouldn't have completed it. It would have taken it a lot farther. And then I would have told MP, okay, all done. You're on your own now. You can finish it. Do what you can, do what you need to do. And we're going to call it a day. But it's funny. Sharon, there's a lot of people that sent over $100 for that memorial and the banners. Let's see. Somebody told me they specifically sent, it was $50 for one panel of the fence and another $100 for a specific Christmas decoration, yard decoration, which did not get purchased. Her math isn't mathing. Okay. I can tell you real quick how much that is. I can tell you exactly what that is. I've got my calculator right here. Let's do some real math, not that crazy math. So $650. So 650. That's not 40%. 40% is $260 of 650. You are so right on that, Busia. Like I said, that family has a past. That past. Northport, past, people. Been doing it for a long time. And honestly, I wouldn't have blocked her from my chat. So $40 is more on the lines of, let's take a look at that again. 650. Even at 4%, it is only $2.60. So she's wrong. She's wrong. Her math isn't mathing. She's doing Mary math. That's all I got to say. I don't know how she planned on doing it. I don't know. But Lisa didn't vet her shit when she decided to use MP for the grift. She didn't check her out. Yeah. She's a bold-faced liar. So, well, y'all know what happened with the survey, right? She doesn't have any paperwork to prove anything. Why not? Didn't people donate money for the survey too? Where's that money? It was what, $300 for the survey? Something like that. um, I'm gonna say no. 700? Where is it? Where's the paperwork? Why can't she show it? What's up with that? Where'd it go? So why won't she show it? Why won't she pull up the public records over there and say, okay, this is this and this is this. Here's the survey. Why won't she show it? Yeah. I did notice. Hey, Miyagi, I kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit. Let's not talk about that. Um, her subscribers are dropping, but there are new people in her chat now. I'm serious. New people are in her chat. She has new people, and I'm like, oh, new names. Where'd these people come from? Never seen them before. And it's only been 24 hours. Where'd they come from? Don't know. Don't care. It's just all one great big game. Sock accounts very well could be. You know, let's see. Frederico's, it could be one of those new people in her chat. We don't know. Don't know. Rumor has it that she went off the grid. Yeah, I don't know. That right there, when that woman had that meltdown on her live stream, on Felice's live stream, when she had that meltdown, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I would have booted that person off of my panel. You don't go on somebody's live stream and decide you're going to have an emotional breakdown, a mental meltdown, and cry and claim how people making fun of you. They called you a Muppet. For real, a Muppet. Seriously? Jeez. Lady needs to get a damn grip. You know, reality for some isn't reality for us, you know? But oh, but yeah. Oh, honey, let me tell you something. That whole fiasco, that whole flipping fiasco That was a bomb from the beginning. It was doomed to go south. You just don't go diving headfirst into that, and then all of a sudden you have all this stuff come up, you know, and you are you're portraying that, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you did know. You knew. That whole thing was a big scam. Big, big, big scam. Major scam, if you ask me. All the way around, everybody involved. But anybody who gave really, 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 really needs to ask for their damn money back. And that's just, nobody's going to see it, but it doesn't hurt to bug her. It doesn't hurt to paper her inbox with relentless emails about a refund. No, I don't know. Well, for Felicia, yeah, hers are fake. Those are crocodile tears, hon. But that lips, exactly peculiar. Like I said, that was already in the planning. That was already in the planning stages. Everybody already got together. Those four people had all gotten together. They rallied. They planned it out. They knew what was going on. All right, no way around it. No way around it. Knew exactly what was happening. So, but if anybody ever wants to go back and pop in on one of her old crystal streams, you'll hear it. You'll hear her talking trash, talking smack about other people. And I think that's kind of where she got the idea. Oh, I'm a mod for this big YouTuber, and I really don't like him, and I don't like what he's doing. At least I don't think it's fair. And not knowing the whole story, and instead of checking the people out, she just ran with it. Just ran with it. That's just it. I mean, the two people that have contacted me told me it's too late because they Zelled money and it was through the bank. But if she doesn't report it, see, one thing people don't understand, cash is fungible, and it's hard to track cash. But if she takes it out of a PayPal account, if she takes it out of any account, then it has to be accounted for. But as long as it stays in those accounts and no transactions have transpired, it can sit there indefinitely. But cash is always fungible. You can get paid under the table in cash, and it technically, it's too late for those other people too because it went through their bank. They Zelled it, so, and it was an excess of $1,400. That wasn't counting their super chats. And they also bought, yeah, she uses Ko-Fi. Exactly. Exactly. So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And it saddens me to think that a lot of people were taken and they're just sitting on their hands. They're not speaking out. You know, the more people speak out about it, maybe more light will be brought to the forefront of what she's doing um, and how she needs to be held accountable. You don't act that way. You know, that's not being professional. She wants to consider herself a professional in the YouTube industry, in the streaming industry, in the content creator industry. You have to have high standards. You have to have, set your standards really high. Make people trust you. People believe you. So it's not good. It doesn't look good, and it's just crazy. And it's not. It's not good. It gives YouTube content creators a bad name when one person fails, when one person does this. It makes everybody else out there who is looking for a channel to follow, to listen to learn from, it makes it very difficult for them to trust, especially if they've been burned by somebody. It's not going to be so easy to trust the next person. So she has lost trust. She can't be trusted. Every single day, Miyagi. Oh, peculiar. Are you sure you're not triple blocked? Yeah, they block anybody who asks a question, and that's wrong. And it's not right. You know, you have a question, her response should be email me your question, and we'll go from there. She shouldn't go off on a rant. She really shouldn't. The resultant gift, which she never sends, has any intention of sending a glorified ex spend this week's toilets forward. True. But well, I wasn't going to do a marathon stream tonight because I know a lot of people go over and watch Megan and Tug, and I am one of those. I have watched Tug since the days of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and I have watched Megan when she started with Tug on the Depp Heard case. So I watch everybody. Tantrum? Well, yeah, because of the daycare she's running over there. Give me a break. She runs a damn daycare. Put him in timeout. Time out my ass. Get the hell out of my chat. That's how I see it. So I don't want to keep anybody, and I don't want anybody to miss anything. If you go over and watch Megan and Tug, and or anybody else for that matter, or maybe watch some TV, stream some movies. So I plan on doing this once a week. It's just an outlet for everybody to talk, for everybody to share ideas, to get it off of your chest. This is not intended to be a hate stream for anybody. I'm just going to call out her bullshit. That's it. I'm just calling out her shit. And I go sit in her chat and I will listen to her bullshit. And that's all it is. It's wash, rinse, repeat daily. That's all it is. And that's all it will ever be. I do see her burning out. She will not last very much longer because she's going to be caught up in a lot of stuff with the lawsuit. And the lawsuit's going to get thicker. Everybody thinks they're in the clear just because of the bankruptcy. They're not in the clear. Okay? Just let that be said. So with that, guys, everybody have a wonderful evening. I will put out another ad. I like to keep it on the same day every week. Wednesdays used to be my old streaming days, so I think I'm going to keep it Wednesday. And generally, Lisa doesn't stream on Wednesdays. Everybody, you're welcome. Is she still being sued? Yes. Yes, she is. That's not going away. She is still being sued. Yes. And I have questions about that too. I have questions about her legal ability. I have questions about the Chat GPT motion she sent in because it said Chat GPT on it. I don't know if any of you caught that, but it did. No, it doesn't stop her. Absolutely not. All it does is stay for MP and JC because they're the ones named in Fed 1. Fed 2, it's just MP. So she has just stayed. Everybody else is in play. Just waiting on the Fat Boy Burger to get served. You know, Burger King, he still has to get served. So, and I see that happening probably within the next 10 to 14 days. Shouldn't be too easy to miss. So everybody have a good night. If you're going over to Tug and Megan's, I'll see you guys there. Peace out, everybody.